Good afternoon, traders. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday and got a chance to make some gains trading at all-time highs. I know trading at all-time highs can be somewhat of a challenge, especially once figuring out, where the key inflection points are, figuring out when to get in, when to get out, and avoiding the chop. So this is your host, the professor at StockX, and we're here to briefly talk about what you can do and what key indicators you can use to help you. We will also use examples of our trades that we've taken today to kind of give you an idea on how we do things, right? Now, I share strategies daily on how things are going to work, and in our channel, we actually have morning calls. The morning calls is actually how we prepare for the day, and it's how members stay ahead, right? Everything that we discuss in the morning call is basically the game plan that we set. So in the morning call, we briefly spoke about that. The breakout to 63.30 can happen. It's likely to be choppy. We're at all-time highs, and key stocks to focus on. Okay, so in the morning call, I mentioned to traders that the implied volatility is going to be high, simply because this week you got Google, you got Tesla, you got a bulk of tech earnings reporting. They're kicking off, and then next week you got more earnings. We have interest rate announcements. You got the tariff deadlines. So there's a lot of news that's going to be happening, and usually in a high IV market at all-time highs, it's very common that you're going to see a lot of choppiness, a lot of sideways action that drags and induces traders to take unnecessary trades. So that's why we love sharing this strategy. We love educating our members inside and outside of our community. So we hope we could see that as well. Trading in these markets is not easy. So it's always important to remember that if you need assistance or require a mentor, StockX is here to get your back. So let's go into the trades today. So we do a recap daily here, going over our wins and our losses, right? And in my room, we show all our transactions on everything that we take here, okay? So we start off our day on taking SPX 6330 calls right off the bat here, okay? So we got them at around 1.9, and everyone in the room had the opportunity to take that, okay? Now, the reason why we took that call in the first place is because when we look at the SPX map here, so this is our weekly chart that pretty much gives us an idea where the breakout ranges and so forth is that we were looking at this and seeing that, okay, there's a breakout approaching here, and if SPX can manage to get through, then you're going to see a fast potential pop. So that's exactly what we've seen here as well, okay? Now, with the market opening here, let's do a potential replay here, okay? So that way you can kind of see my mindset going into this trading day, okay? So a couple of indicators, like I mentioned, I want to share with you guys is one of my favorite ones is called the MACD here, okay? So if we start this over here, you can see the market open around 63.05 and it start to pop over here. Now, key things to note here, this is my daily chart. So my daily chart is where I kind of figure out the entries and execution. This here is my neutral range. That's when the deltas are pretty much neutral here. So being above that is a sign that the market is looking pretty strong here. So a couple of indicators that you want to be aware of is the one on the bottom, as you see right over here. This is a MACD. This is a MACD, and this is the Stoch RSI, basically similar to a MACD, but also incorporates the RSI into it as well. I mainly analyze premiums and all that, but I also use these charting indicators to kind of set up my strategy as well, okay? So I see that SPX is going towards the pre-market high. It looks pretty strong here as well. The thing I'm looking for is that I know this is going to be a key support. This is a 9 EMA that we're looking at here. I often navigate between 5 to 30 minute charts here and kind of get an idea of what the momentum is. So from this point on, I can see that the MACD is showing bullish momentum here. I see that it looks like the momentum is climbing here as well. And going back on the 5-minute, I see that as well. So I can see that my first major inflection point is 63.29. So once SPX gets through this 63.20, it can really gap up there. Now, I was pretty much in this position at around this time here. So as SPX continues to navigate, I pretty much sold my trade, those SPX calls, right at the 63.20. Okay, I got it at a very good price right at the open here, and we sold it for a double, but it ended up, if I held longer, it would have definitely been a 100% trade here. But you know, when it's a Monday and it's the beginning of the week here, it's kind of important to take your profits right off the bat here. Okay, so we sold those SPX calls right off the bat, got 102%, no complaints there. That was a nice little scalp. They ended up going to $6 if I had held a little bit longer. Okay, so a lot of the positions that you see me holding right now, like this Oracle call, for example, that was actually my runners for last week. I only got 2 contracts left. It was a 200% play. We already got out of them, and pretty much, you know, I plan to exercise those actually if it does close in the money. So we'll see about that. So traders made a good thing. The next thing that we did is we took CrowdStrike 500 calls. Okay, so this here was basically about my morning call that I spoke about. So going to CrowdStrike right over here. So we seen it's in the chop range. I actually wanted this because the 500 calls was at a decent price. And if it does ever at any point this week gets through this 502.496 area zone here, those calls have a potential of giving me a massive win here, but it has to get out of this chop range. The thing about it is that those calls actually did very well. So the people that did take it, they ended up getting around 80% tops on that play. Okay. The next trade that we took was SPX puts. So the reason why I took those puts is because at this level 1 bullish, usually I take puts here. Most of the time it does work. Those puts did go up temporarily because, as you guys see over here at first inflection point, we saw a little bit of a pullback, right? And that pullback didn't really last here. Then we pretty much chopped around my level 1 bullish throughout the entire day. So this is where things got a little bit boring. But in the team, we still called a bunch of amazing trades here. So you can see pretty much that it was hovering around close to my level 1, and we were just pretty much chilling there while we monitor that. So right off the bat, we got 2 proper trades in. The puts were a little bit off just because the market was not moving too well, but it was a smaller size, and we didn't lose much. If we had held it, actually, it would have made money because at the end of the day, the market did crater, but we stopped at it and we lost 40% on that. But that's not a big deal because compared to the entire day, most of the people did already make money off that as well. The next set of trades that we decide to take is AMD 160 calls, and we bought this at the pre-market low support here. Okay, so we have another great indicator as well. So looking at AMD here, so going to AMD. Okay, perfect. So what we did with AMD here is that we wanted to get in and out on this as well. I also have a premium model as well. Like I use option premium graphs. I don't want to show that right now, but basically we managed to identify that the pre-market low was around over here. So we got in at this particular point, 157, and in the room we actually target that as right, where you can see right here when we enter our buy points, our bots do inform us, right? So it hit the pre-market low. We got in at around $2 and we sold it right over there. Okay, so that was locking in around 40% on those AMD calls. We called out this SPX 6350 call, which was a super lotto that went up around I believe 35%. I didn't sell it because it was a small position, but it did do decent. So we sold those AMD calls right there and then, right at the upper WAP, and that's when it started to crater. We got roll with profits there, and we also called out another play on shop as well, which went up 30%. So very interesting day. Most of the room, 73% declared profits, no red days for anyone today. Okay, so the key winners for today, you can see shop here, that we took. It also went up around, as soon as we started to see that shop went up close to, yeah, around 25 to 30%. But you know, we want to swing that overnight here. Okay, so going into choppy trading here, guys, you always want to make sure that you're looking at your 5-minute and your 30-minute MACDs, and try to see if they are aligned where the 5-minute looks bullish and the 30 minutes look bullish, especially at open. Then you can pretty much score a nice trade here. Okay, so for today in the room, we gave beautiful setup trades on SPX calls at open, which was a double, you know, potentially 1,000% if people held all day. We gave CrowdStrike calls, which ran up 80%. We're still holding. We want to swing it, but it's still a winner trade. As long as it hits minimum 50%, I consider a winner. We gave SPX 6350 calls. Didn't hit 50%, but it was very close at 40%. We gave AMD calls, which we sold for 40%. And we also gave shop calls, which was 25, but still we're watching it as we go along this week here. Okay, so based on all of that, guys, we use these charts here to kind of analyze. So you can see here that CrowdStrike was very choppy. I told a lot of people it's a risky trade because I'm trying to go for a big upside here. I think CrowdStrike does have a lot of potential, but some people even took profits because it's in the choppy range. If you don't want to swing, always sell when you're in the choppy range. You see that Tesla rejected right off my inflection point right there. I think that may cause it to go lower, but still in choppy trading. You can see that Nvidia is in a choppy trading range, so we avoid that. Broadcom was very close to breaking out, so Broadcom actually looks a lot better than Nvidia, so watch out for that. CoreWeave pretty much dropped right off my level 1 bullish again, so the numbers are insanely accurate, guys. You see that SMCI is in the chop range. You see that, you know, ARM broke out here, but pretty much fell back down. So two semiconductors I'm bullish on is ARM and pretty much AMD for now. Coin, you know, very close to my level 1, but it's stopped at 436. You know, MSTR's in a choppy range. I'd avoid the crypto stocks for now and just only look at a few names from what I see here, right? But there's a lot of chop in a lot of these names right now, and especially bullish on shop. It just looks different today, and I think once it gets past this 131, even if it gets to 132, it may explode to 135. So these are some ideas that you want to be aware of. You know, we do got major earnings this week, so be ready, be prepared, and if you want to get consistent, accurate trades and mentorship as well, join the StochX room. You won't miss out because we keep crushing it, and we'll see you guys on the next one. And like always, let's get that money.